The classic Inca trail to Machu Picchu, full of interesting stories and amazing sceneries. Let me show you what it's like and discuss the alternatives in this video. I'm doing the tour together with two from the Atacama road trip back in Chile. It turned out that I was around the same time in Peru as they were, so I could join them on this trip. I got lucky. Due to a lot of protest in Peru just before arriving, the whole tourist sector had issues, which opened up some spaces for going to Machu Picchu. Normally this is not possible and you need to book months in advance.
So the Incas built places like this every 10 kilometers, 12 kilometers, 13 kilometers. The name of places like this it was called tambos. Yeah, what happened in these tambos long time ago? So the Incas used to, in this area, storage food, drinks and weapons for the Inca army. Yeah, I told you that in Inca's time the Inca trail started in Cusco to Machu Picchu and there was 125 kilometers long. They could send a message just in 12 hours from Cusco to Machu Picchu. With the runners, the name of those runners was called chasquis. One chasqui couldn't take hold the way the message to Machu Picchu. It was a stations, a postal like a postal. The first chasqui ran very fast, first 10 kilometers, give the message to the other. That was the way how they could do that.
Good morning, good.
Alright, so a new day is starting, day 2. Yesterday was relatively to what expected is today was an easy day. Of course, sometimes the climbing was tough with the big backpacks and I was exhausted for sure. So yeah, it's gonna be a tough day I think today because it's gonna be 3 hours up and then 1 hour down to the next campsite. It was raining tonight, I slept quite well actually. They came in the morning with a cup of coca tea to the tent to wake you up, and thereafter it's now time for breakfast. So yeah, it looks very cloudy right now because of the rain tonight, so it seems to be clearing up quite quickly now, and then we're gonna start hike day number 2. This is also the last place where you can buy snacks. Thereafter there's nothing more on the trail, so we bought some cola, some chips. because we actually brought some rum on the trail. We bought that back in Cusco. Furthermore, we also today we should actually leave at wake up at 5:30, but we negotiated and said well we're gonna wake up at 7, so that didn't matter. I mean, they were quite flexible, so that's also again one of the benefits of having your own tour guide, of having a tour guide that's within a small group and not like a very big organized group. The price is currently $649. That includes almost everything: pickup and return to the hostel, all meals, tents, pouches that carry all the stuff, English guide, Machu Picchu tickets and train plus bus tickets back from Aguas Calientes. We booked this trip via ETAP Travel. It's not a sponsorship, which I can recommend because they do the tours themselves. The group could be up to 6 people instead of other agencies that will put you in a very big group. So we are now almost at the end of day 2. I thought it was hard. I mean, climbing with quite a lot of weight, and at 3,000, eventually 4,200 meters was quite hard for me. So yeah, I definitely suffered a little bit there. For the other 2 it was mediocre, but they have hiked like the last 1.5 year across the world. So you know, I've hiked like Torres del Paine for like with the same weight maybe, but it wasn't that much up and down with the full bag. So yeah, for me that was actually the most challenging hike so far. So that's why it was hard for me. But it really depends on your experience. Overall, very beautiful. It's of course a little bit cloudy. I think it's hard to actually avoid that, no matter when you are here. Just gotta be lucky, I guess. And yeah, almost arriving at the campsite too. And you can already see the path for tomorrow. Like you can see like a path going there up the mountain. This day was 7.7 kilometers and tomorrow it's gonna be 9.5 kilometers. So yeah, it's gonna be more kilometers but less up and down. There are a couple of options to get to Machu Picchu. The first and easiest option is to take the train from Ollantaytambo to Aguas Calientes and from there take the bus up or hike up to the entrance of Machu Picchu, certainly the most tourist way. The second option is the classic Inca Trail that we are doing. The third option is the express route. You will basically start on the last day of the Inca Trail, which you will see in a minute. The other option is taking one of the many alternative hike routes. A popular one is the Salcantay Trail, being more challenging, but on the upside it doesn't require a permit, so it is cheaper. For the Inca Trail you do need a guide with a permit, which makes it more expensive. Also, there is a limited amount of people allowed on the Inca Trail and also at Machu Picchu, which also drives up the price. So we started this morning at 8 AM instead of 6:30 or 7. All the other groups have already left. And yeah, starting with some steep stairs. I know it's the one steep climb of the whole route of today, but it's already quite exhausting. already at the end almost of today, and because we're getting lower, we're getting below the clouds, and yeah, the view just gets really incredible. The path is awesome, and you can see already the Machu Picchu mountain, and behind there is Machu Picchu itself. Machu Picchu is so close right now. He also explained why we need to wake up like very early tomorrow, because all the pouches that are carrying all the equipment, they have to be at the train station before 5 o'clock, because that's the only train they have in the morning for the locals to get all the stuff shipped to a different city. So yeah, that makes it that we have to wake up at 3:30, I think. Not looking forward to that, but really looking forward to tomorrow, where we're gonna see Machu Picchu. So let's see what kind of dinner we get today, actually, because every time you get such incredible food on this tour. I'm really thankful for all the pouches that are carrying everything, and all the food they're carrying with them, and how they make sure that every day you get something different than you expect. You expect like, alright, we're gonna get like 3 days the same food, but yeah, they know how to mix things up. The lomo meat we had this, and this lunch was really amazing, so yeah, quite a blessing with this tour company to take the Inca Trail. So definitely recommend it to go with them. Not part of a big group, could schedule our own departure times, which is very nice up until now.
These people have to build the terraces to be possible to produce. For example, if these people wouldn't have done these terraces, probably they wouldn't produce anything, because if you produce, for example, in very steep area, when there is one strong rain, all the nutrients, the soils go down. But with this system, not. That's the reason, that's the meaning. Each terraces were built for these people, each one. It's not natural. For example, right here in the terraces, we can see there is no channels for draining, for irrigation, because they didn't need to do that. Because here is humid, there is water all the time. This is cloud forest. For example, normally when there is just a little sun, it's really hot.
Yeah.
I think you can imagine if it's sunny. This is like a natural greenhouse.
Yeah.
Those things were the most important reason why these people built here these terraces.
In between the mountains, not a lot of wind.
Yes.
Thank you. As explained, wake up early, but then unfortunately wait at the entrance gate, because they don't allow anyone on the trail before sunrise. That was a bit of a disappointment. What was even more depressing is the unlucky weather. The final path should be beautiful, getting close to Machu Picchu, walking through the beautiful sun gate, but it was all very wet and cloudy. Once we got to Machu Picchu, you basically walked to a pre-booked spot to take pictures. Yet all we got was fog. As depressing as that was, we headed down to the entrance to shelter from all the rain. I was soaked, wet feet, and thus very cold. But our tour guide came to the rescue. Although normally not allowed, he managed to, after the tour in Machu Picchu itself, go up one more time, giving us a perfect before and after photo. When you are done, you can take the bus down for $12 or walk down in an hour. After that you have time for lunch in Aguas Calientes to wait for the train that will take you back to Ollantaytambo, from which the tour agency organizes a bus that takes you back to Cusco. That's it, the Inca Trail of Peru. To summarize, a realistic example of how the weather can be, but also an example of what coincidence you come across while traveling. Meeting people in one country and doing a 4-day hike in another country. Back home, we sometimes still go out for dinner, which is very nice. Thanks for watching. Feedback is always welcome. See you in the next episode where I will go off the beaten track again and start my 10-day trip going across the country of Peru. Really looking forward to it.